On the streets filled with noise, dust, and rushing footsteps, a little boy stood with a small box of pens. His clothes were torn, his hands dirty, his voice trembling as he called out to strangers, "Please, buy a pen, just one pen." Most ignored him. Some pushed him aside. Others looked at him with pity, but walked away. Every day, he stood under the scorching sun, holding out his pens, hoping someone would stop. He wasn't selling pens just for money. He was selling them for survival, for his mother, who lay sick at home, and for his younger sister, who often cried herself to sleep from hunger. He was only 12, yet life had placed the weight of a family on his shoulders. At night, when he returned with a few coins, his mother would smile weakly and bless him. But when she slept, he would sit by the candlelight, reading the crumpled pages of a book he had found in the garbage. His dream was bigger than the streets, bigger than the pens he sold. He wanted to study, to change his destiny. One evening, as he stood in front of a university gate selling pens, he saw young students walking in with books in their hands, talking about dreams and futures. His heart ached. "Why not me?" he whispered. But then, instead of despair, he clenched his jaw and decided, "One day, I will walk through these gates, not to sell pens, but to study." Days turned to months, the months into years. He sold pens by day and studied by night. There were times he went hungry, times he felt like giving up, times the world mocked him for dreaming too big. But every insult became fire inside him. Every struggle carved strength into his soul. One winter night, while selling pens, he fainted on the roadside from exhaustion. A kind professor passing by stopped and helped him. Seeing the boy's books in his bag, the professor asked, "Do you want to study?" With tears in his eyes, the boy nodded. That professor became his mentor, guiding him, teaching him, pushing him forward. Step by step, exam after exam, rejection after rejection, the boy climbed. He didn't stop. He couldn't stop. He carried the weight of his mother's prayers and his sister's hopes. Finally, after years of sweat and sacrifice, the boy who once sold pens entered the university, not as a vendor, but as a student. Years later, that same boy stood on a grand stage, holding a gold medal, giving a speech to thousands. Reporters captured his words. Students cheered, and among the crowd, he spotted his mother and sister. His mother's eyes were filled with tears, her smile unshakable. He held up the medal and said, "These hands once sold pens, but today they hold knowledge, and knowledge has the power to change everything." The audience rose to their feet in thunderous applause, and the boy, who once stood invisible in the streets, had become a light for millions, proving that no beginning is too small, no struggle too heavy, no dream too big. Because destiny isn't written by circumstances. It's written by determination.